Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Dome Sweet Dome. In the last episode, we took you to the home of Joe and Nancy Drake and showed you their backyard greenhouse. While these greenhouses make a great addition to any backyard or homestead, they also make a great addition to the community. Today, we're going to take you to 3 different organizations here in Southwest Colorado that are utilizing these greenhouses. Pagosa High School, the Geothermal Greenhouse Partnership, and the San Juan Area Agency on Aging are all using these growing domes to help in their community. The Pagosa High School has created an interactive learning environment. The Geothermal Greenhouse Partnership is using their growing domes for 3 unique missions. And the San Juan Area Agency on Aging is working to bring growing domes to senior centers across the southwest region of Colorado to bring fresh, healthy produce and a therapeutic outlet to our senior citizens. All of these organizations are unique, however, they all share a common goal of fostering a healthy and sustainable lifestyle. The world is full of small towns just like ours, so we're going to show you how these greenhouses are changing the lives of the folks who live here and how they were funded. Make sure that you stay till the end to learn about the 2023 Food Security Grant brought to you by Growing Spaces. I'm so excited to be back here at my old high school here in Pagosa Springs. They have since added this wonderful greenhouse to their campus, and we are going to meet with Heather Miller, the plant science teacher, and a few of her students to see how they are using this growing dome to add to their curriculum.
Our average day, depending on, we either come in the dome the first part of class or the second part of class. And usually when we come down here, students will do their daily duty. They have assigned daily duties that rotates throughout the semester. And then from there, they will work on their assigned bed. So each student or student group has a bed. So this bed belongs to one group, and they will manage it. They've created a plan for the bed. They're working on growing the plants that'll go in here. This bed's currently a little bit on the empty side because we were allowed to grow broccoli throughout the winter, and we just harvested that. So like the avocado tree was one that was requested by students. I've never grown an avocado in my life, so I had no clue what to expect and if it would be okay in the dome or not. But this is the first year it's been in here. It's grown probably like 3 feet, and we actually have fruit on there, which I had no anticipation of. If there's something that they really want to learn about, we'll add that in there. Trying to focus on like the key things of growing plants and that type of stuff, but it gives a lot of opportunity we wouldn't have if we were growing outside.
My favorite part about the class was how we were so involved in nature and that everything was so close by. Obviously we get to see it outside the dome, but inside we got to connect with it a lot more in such a small space.
My favorite part about being in the plant science class was probably the community aspect of it and how we were able to create something that was just a little seed and then it turns into a great flower.
Before this class, I was really only interested in like house plants and like pretty house plants like monsteras and stuff. But I was pretty surprised in how interested I was in like tomatoes and like agricultural plants and stuff.
So the district put in the funding for the dome itself. So we built the dome and funded that. And then the rest of the funding came through grants, donors. And then we hope to sustain this through maybe selling some produce, selling some plants. But currently we're just donating most of that.
I tried to propagate some sugar snap peas and some celery roots, and that's really helped, and you're able to start a little garden at home. So yeah, I've really taken what I learned in the Grow Dome home with me.
So our school year is from September to the beginning of June, and that's not in a normal growing season. So it gives us the opportunity to to grow while most people are shutting down their gardens. We actually get to grow and have things that we wouldn't be able to grow outside in Colorado.
When I came in here for the first time in a little bit, it's almost like seeing an old friend, like looking at the plants that you grew and seeing how they've grown since you haven't taken care of them. And it's really calming, and it's nice to like look back and be like, oh, I planted that and now it's big.
I would definitely say that this is probably my peaceful place. When I don't necessarily have students in here, I will come down and look at the fish, play in here. I often come in after school just for some quiet time. So I love that aspect of the dome. It's peaceful, especially this time of year when there's nothing growing outside and you can come in and see green.
A feeling I get when going into the dome is, I guess, grounded. Seeing all the things growing around me while I am also growing as a human makes me feel a lot more connected to everything in the room. It's a good feeling.
It has been so great seeing what all of the students are doing here within the Growing Dome and the program that Mrs. Miller has created. I really wish that they would have had something like this when I was in school. We encourage you to reach out to your local school district to set up some type of a gardening program within your campus. Now let's go over to the GGP and see how our larger community is utilizing these growing domes to their advantage. Now that we've seen how the Pagosa Springs High School is using their growing dome, we're here at the Geothermal Greenhouse Partnership, and we're going to see how these growing domes are impacting our local community. Sally, can you tell me a little bit about how you're getting the community involved in the Geothermal Greenhouse Partnership?
The community of Pagosa Springs has always been involved in the Geothermal Greenhouse Partnership over 10 years now, and we wouldn't be here in Centennial Park on the beautiful San Juan River Walk if not for our close partnerships with many community organizations and individuals. We still have strong relationships with the schools, with students and learners of all ages, and we're planning 2 very special events this year.
That's amazing. Can you tell me a little bit about the events that you're putting on and the fundraising that you're doing to keep this partnership going?
Yes, now in GGP's 11th year, we have 2 sustaining events, one in the spring, one in the fall. The Environmental Film Festival is in the spring and kicks off our Earth Week. Earth Day is centered here at the GGP site a week later. And in the fall of the year, we host Breakfast with Balloons when the Balloon Fest for Color Fest is here in Pagosa Springs. This year, that will be a 2-day fundraising event for Geothermal Greenhouse Partnership.
The GGP has become such a cornerstone in our community, and it's amazing to hear that there are ongoing events and opportunities for people to get involved.
I appreciate hearing that, yes. People can always get involved. Contact us at pagosagreen.org.
Amazing. And that's how people would get involved with these types of events, purchase tickets, that kind of thing as well?
That's correct. People also can volunteer for different jobs, different roles here on at the GGP site on our renewable energy campus, which we're often called with the town of Pagosa Springs, and there are lots of opportunities to participate.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Hi, my name is Laura Dial, and I've been a volunteer here at the Geothermal Greenhouse for approximately a year now, and I just love it. There's such a variety of plant material and the ways that we propagate them. We do mainly vegetables, but we do a lot of herbs and a few ornamental flowers. Yes, I get such enjoyment out of volunteering here and working with the plants. raising something from a little baby to a mature plant that's bearing vegetables. And it's so fulfilling to have visitors come in and say, oh, we're from out of town, but we'd like to buy some arugula because we're staying at a rental home and we'd like to cook with some of the stuff, you know. So yes, that's one of the selling points that we have, is it's organically grown and it's going to be a lot cheaper than going to the grocery store.
It was 2008, 2009 when a group of local citizens began to talk about how to showcase our geothermal energy, our ample geothermal resource here in town, and create an opportunity to grow food year-round. We began to negotiate with the town of Pagosa Springs and a number of other funding entities. And in 2012, we became a Colorado 501c3 corporation, and then the development of this site really took off. GGP is a volunteer and donor-driven organization, but we're lucky to have one professional horticulturalist that we employ to make decisions about the planting and the food grown here in the Education Dome. And she coordinates our volunteers pretty smoothly also.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi,
You must be Deb, the gardener.
I am.
What is your favorite part about working in these growing domes here in the community?
Well, my favorite part is I get to work in here all year round, rather than being outside only in the summer when we can grow. It's nice and warm in here in the winter, and it just can grow anything I basically want in here. And plus the people I work with, they're just amazing.
That's great to hear. So it sounds like the Growing Dome is providing a year-round growing environment, which is different from what you've done before. Are there any other ways that this kind of environment is different from other gardening you've done?
It allows me to experiment with different things I've never grown before that typically wouldn't grow here in Colorado. Things that people are interested in trying, especially the vegetables. We've done bok choy this year. We've never done that before. It came out really good. And that was growing in January. So outside, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, it was a blanket of snow out there in January.
Yep.
What are some of the other plants that you're growing?
This is a black mission fig. It came into the dome a couple of years after the dome was built, and it has grown immensely. Last year, it fruited really, really well. So this year, we're hoping to get another good crop. We have 2 different types of grapevines in here, Niagara grapevines and the Concord grapes. We also have a Meyer lemon tree. So those plants are in here permanently all year round. We have this rosemary behind you. It does really well. And we've done some succulents in here. We have a aloe vera growing in the center of the bed there. We do flowers because we need those for the pollinating insects when they come in the springtime. So it attracts those in here. So we have those for them. But the beds are usually dedicated to growing food.
So what do you do with all of the produce that you grow inside the dome? Is it donated? Do you sell it? How does that work?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
In the summertime, Pagosa has a farmer's market downtown, so we will harvest what we have here that's ready to go during the summer, and we sell that at farmer's market. It's a little bit of money that helps pay for the supplies that we need in here. But we do sell in here now all year round, so 3 days a week when I'm here, we will actually sell out the door to anybody that wants to come in and try some fresh produce. It's cut on demand, basically. Any surplus that's left over, we will donate to our local food pantry warehouse.
Great. Awesome. Now that we've learned a little bit about how this nonprofit has become such a center point in our community for both education, event space, and food production, let's go ahead and learn about the San Juan Area Agency on Aging and how they are using their domes to support our senior population. So today I'm here with Richard Miller, who does work for Growing Spaces and specializes in community outreach. So he's working very closely with the San Juan Basin Area Agency on Aging, who is bringing growing dome greenhouses to the local senior centers. The funding for this project was acquired by the federal government. and then distributed to the Area Agency on Aging, which is distributing that funding to the local senior centers to bring these greenhouses to them. So can you tell me a little bit about what the greenhouse is being used for and kind of the overall purpose behind the project?
So the 42-foot growing dome greenhouses that are being provided by the grant money for this project are geared towards seniors to provide local, fresh, nutritional food to the seniors.
So can you expand a little bit more on the nutritional importance?
The importance of nutrition, a lot of it has to do with the freshness of the vegetable and how the vegetable is growing. This kale right here, or the chard, cabbage, green beans, it's about as close as you can get to a backyard garden for these seniors. But they don't have the responsibility of gardening on themselves. They have the community of their peers together to garden with this. These are the advantages that come with a homegrown tomato. Everyone knows there's nothing better than a homegrown tomato. We've got some more squash, some more kale. The scale of the dome allows for the diversity of the different vegetables so that you're not just getting one particular type of nutrition from a vegetable. You even have the opportunity for a squash blossom. There's nothing better in a cold salad than a fresh squash blossom flower. We've got potatoes over here. We all know potatoes are right up with homegrown tomatoes as far as taste goes. So one of the advantages of the project is the seniors have the opportunity to actually become stakeholders by working in the garden, and they can actually participate in growing their own health through the food that they're growing.
That's why it's here.
I know.
Are they good? Are they ready?
So that's a Michelin star bean.
Mm.
That's the kind of thing that you'd get in a Michelin, 5-star restaurant.
Farm to table.
Yeah.
So with the 42-foot growing dome, there's going to be a lot of space for growing and also space for kind of community gatherings. Will the seniors be utilizing that aspect as well?
You know, that's one of the advantages with the 42-foot growing dome is the scale of the dome allows for seniors to socialize with each other while gardening, and working within a green setting is always advantageous to mental health. Science has proven it over and over again, the importance of a green space.
And I bet especially in the winter months where we live, it's going to be a very nice escape for the seniors.
Thank God for serotonin. It's the best thing. Plants need it and humans do too. So I would say the first thing that comes to my mind is community. You know, most gardens are row upon row upon row, very utilitarian, very dynamic in what you're growing and such like that, and not a lot of opportunity for diversity or community. A growing spaces growing dome, just the dome itself, provides a space that feels like community and diversity. You can have all these different plants growing together and yet still reap the same production harvest that you can out of an old school industrial type of row upon row gardening, which to me feels very isolated and very uniform, as opposed to this is what nurtures plants and this is what nurtures people.
As you can see, a growing dome can change the lives of users, community members, and owners of all ages. There is no age limit to fostering a life of sustainability and self-reliance. Growing Spaces is proud to offer an in-house grant program that provides between $2,000 to $5,000 off of the cost of the kit for communities, schools, and nonprofits in food insecure regions. The organization must have land to build the growing dome on and have the resources to build and sustain the garden long term. Whether that be through the use of volunteers, hired personnel, donations, private funding, or other grants. We've shown you how these organizations have made this dream into a reality, and you can too. Our grant program has evolved over the years and will likely continue to do so. So if you're watching this in 2023, go ahead and check out the link down in the description box or give us a call for the most up-to-date information. We are currently accepting applications for the 2024 grant program. We hope that you enjoyed this visit and that you either learned something new or got inspired. If you enjoy this type of content and are interested in learning more about growing in a dome or the lifestyle that comes along with owning one, make sure that you like this video and subscribe so that you don't miss future videos in this series. You can also follow us on all of our other social platforms. Those will be linked in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.